So, yeah, people, a big, bold, beautiful journey. This is the new film from Kogonada, aka Park Joon-un. Yes, he directs. It is written by Seth Reiss. The film is produced by Ryan Friedkin, Yuri Henley, Seth Reiss, Bradley Thomas. It's executive produced by John Atwood, Ori Easton, Gino Falsetto, Ilian Feldman, Mika Green, Paul Mezzi, Elizabeth Niles, Daniel Stamen, and Kogonada. It is associate produced by Noah Simon, and it is co-produced by Joel Henry, Rachel Jensen, and Anthony Travato. Joe Hayase took care of the score and music. Benjamin Loeb is on cinematography. Jonathan Alberts and Susan E. Kim edit the piece, with Francine Maisler and Molly Rose taking care of all the casting. Production design is Katie Bryan. Art direction is Mary Florence Brown. So Marissa Collins, Taylor Jean, and Elsbeth Mum are set decoration. Right. Arjun Basin is costume design. We have on hair and makeup Stacey Bizzle, John Blake, Dawn Victoria Dudley, Nana Fisher, Rosetta Garcia, Glenn P. Griffin, Alicia Kim, Adrufa Lee, Kate Loftus, Ned Neidhart, Razia Patton, Alex Perun, Cassie Ruzek, and Sweet P. Vaughan. Then we have... Let's check for stunts. We might not have any. It wasn't like a stunt-heavy film necessarily. Okay. But, okay, T.J. White, Randall Rettenbach, Rex Reddick, Alan Paddleford, Renee Mazuz, Kurt D. Lott, Ingrid Kleining, Ken Fournier, and Mikey Cassidy were the stunts and the body doubles. So then, people, we have our cast. And Colin Farrell is David. UV Hetch is a young David. Sarah is played by Margot Robbie. We have got the mechanic played by Kevin Kline. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is the female cashier. Lily Rabb is Sarah's mum. David's ex-wife is played by Sarah Gadon. David's father is played by Hamish Linklater. We've got David's mother played by Jennifer Grant. I think Sarah's ex is played by Billy Magnuson. I might be wrong, but I think it is. We have got Jodie Turner-Smith as the voice of the GPS. We have got Chloe East as Cheryl. Lucy Thomas is Amanda. Callahan Skogman is one of Sarah's groomsmen. Stacey Dunn is played by Jacqueline Novak. Shelby Simmons is the stage manager. Amy Moore is played by Brooke Maron. Simon Kahn plays Tate Chandler. We have got Jason Kravitz as Mr. Nelson. Smitty is played by Michelle Meow. Vincent, the security guard, is played by Pablo Serrano. Who else? Who else do we have? Julian Zane is Eddie Bora. Miss Jones is played by Gabriella Saudejon. Joyce Guy is Dr. Veman. Carth Donovan is a nurse. The hotel receptionist is played by Mia Karina Mollicone. I think that's probably all our main members of the cast, I would say. Yeah. Okay. So the gist of the story, I think. In this tale, David heads to a wedding in his old car with a unique GPS. He meets Sarah, and together they embark on a journey suggested by the GPS. Along the way, they confront their pasts and explore painted landscapes, leading to a deeper connection. As they contemplate their future, they face a crucial decision about their relationship. I mean, it's not David's old car, because David's old car gets clamped. He rents a car, so does Sarah. And the GPS in the rented cars are what caused the whole situation. So yeah, I mean, this is a really good cast, right? Really good cast. And Kogonada, he directed After Yang, which I know was a well-received film. And he's got some other ones which, went down very well. But this, this I kind of struggled with, if I'm telling the truth. It's, the kooky situations like a GPS guiding you and all of that. I'm down with that kind of stuff, right? I have no issue there. Right? The car rental situation, right? The door situation. All of that was just, it just felt really unnecessary. It felt like it's there to be odd, but just doesn't hit, because yes, everyone knows, though, when you do the intercom door thing, a lot of times, right, the door is not actually open for long, so you have to be ready to yank that thing open. right? So you don't need someone to give this long diatribe about the door and, oh, you need to, you know what I mean? It was just like, what are we doing here? And then the whole, oh, stand on this spot and blah, 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 and the weird accent Phoebe Waller-Price is putting on. Then she goes to normal voice and then back to the act. It's just like, what is this? You know what I mean? It's, yeah, it's peculiar. You know what I mean? And we have him talking to Sarah at the wedding. But the interactions all feel very, very kind of stilted, right? It's not got a natural flow to it. And even like asking him to dance, and he's like, oh, I don't dance. But he does dance. So why even say it? Right? There's no actual logical reason for that. Because, you know, you could go, like you could buy someone saying it if they're shy and nervous, but he's obviously not. So, you know, and then he's beating himself up and be like, oh, why did I say that? And be like, the obvious thing, just go and fucking dance with her. Right? There's nothing actually stopping him do that. She's not dancing with anyone else. You know, so we're creating problems where there are no actual problems. You know? But obviously, after that point, they will meet up again. Right? It's not oh my God, they've met up again. You know what I mean? It's not, it's happening. And when they do, it's just this inane conversation that they have in the restaurant. I mean, fast food joint. I mean, probably not actually refer to those as restaurants, right? But in the fast food joint, you know, it's nonsensical, really. And then they're traveling and they find these doors, which again, there's no real issue with just doors being there. That's fine. But then we just have these situations, and you've got Sarah being like, I'm evil, you don't want to date me. Him going, what do I do? But the big thing being, I don't believe at any point did they actually show how these two might be falling in love. Right? Maybe I'm cynical, right? Jaded, you know? But yeah, it just didn't feel, they're having shallow conversations. And when I say shallow conversations, I'm not being like, oh, so, do you go to the gym? Oh, that's right. Not in that context, right? But because they're talking about past situations of things like that, but nothing is actually coming down to the core and who someone is, right? She's saying something and he's like, oh, that means you're really good. And it's just like, I mean, it doesn't though, right? You would need way more examples of who she is to make a snap judgment like that. You know what I mean? Like, now, you could be, well, what you're showing me right now, I mean, I don't see an issue. I mean, you know, obviously we're going to talk some more, but hey, I like what I'm hearing so far. That's more of a thing, right? But to just be, oh, I really like you, it's just odd. It's just an odd film, you know, and they're like, talking about the past things that they've done as if like no one else has ever done this before. Like, no one else has ever lost interest in someone. Oh my God, this is a first. Like, no one else has cheated or walked away from another. Like these aren't crazy things. We know. So the way they hold them to their chest is peculiar. You know? It's like we have so many different types of rom-com. You know? Just a few. But last month it was it was just Mentalist, right? Materialist. I mean, which I thought wasn't bad. You knew from the beginning where it was going. But I thought the acting was good. Some of the scenarios were like obviously the scars on the leg, right? Just that whole thing. They could be anything, but it's just like, oh, that means you had this. And it's just like, there were things in that which were a bit, and you knew where it was going. But I thought it was interesting that they looked at love in a transactional way, which people do, but it's something that isn't, I can't really think of it being addressed like that in another film. So doing things like that, I don't mind at all. It's interesting. But there wasn't necessarily anything new here. Right? We're not looking at love in a different way. You know what I mean? Like, we have people with trauma that they're trying to get over, which is just like, yeah, I mean, we've seen that a million times. Now, you've decided to approach it in this manner, which, again, fine. But can we not try and add some actual nuance here? Right? Some complexity to our characters, because you're trying to disguise modeling as complex, and it just doesn't seem to work for me. Right? Now, people might love it. Maybe if I'd watched some of Kogonada's other films, I would get a sense of his flow and style of storytelling. So then, there's a more of an impact with something like this. Maybe that's the thing. I'm not sure, people. It is just, it's something that doesn't really, like, the chemistry between Robbie and Farrell just doesn't seem to be there. For me, anyway. I just didn't really buy it. It's one of those things that it just falls rather flat. And, I can't think of what the gap is between them. So Colin Farrell is 49 and Margot Robbie is 35. So yeah, we've got a 14-year difference. And it is one of those things where it's just like they always do it. Like, this old dude snags this young chick, and it's just like, why would she fall for him? Right? You haven't shown us that. You haven't given us that at all. There may be an infatuation, a lust situation, but love is not those things. Love is different. You know what I mean? It's a different animal. So give us a reason. You feel me? But it's just not there. Right? It's just not there. Which is, I don't know. Right? I don't know. it's an odd film, right? We're going through all of these different scenarios, like his dad talking at the hospital, or her mum, and all of that thing, right? It just, there's no, I didn't really get any real impact from this. Now, it looks nice. The film looks nice, right? It's shot well. Those elements, they're all fine. But I hated the score. Oh, man. There is this piece of piano through music that is played throughout the first third, I would say. I just really didn't like that. And then there's more piano music later on in the film, which just, I could not connect with the score or even the song. The song choices just didn't work for me. Right? There's, at the very end of the film, there is, I can't think of the name of because I don't think it's the actual name. But it's that one, My Love Open the Door, right? It played at the end of Dan in Real Life, right? My love, open the door. My love, open the door to your heart. My love, open the door. Right? That's a great song. I love that song. The version they used in this, I didn't like at all. Now, again, right? Some people might think that this was a great score and the songs worked perfectly. But when I think of this, and I think of things like Higher to the Lowest, right? Where the songs, not the actual score itself, but the song use, every song played to where David was in his life at that point. And I thought that was genius, right? I thought that worked extremely well. So, that was the difference between scores. This score just wasn't for me. Now, maybe, right? This is the effects, right? The aftermath effects of broken love, right? That might be why I'm looking at this film in this way. I don't know. I don't think it is. I think I can be subjective on these things, people. But, yeah. I just could not connect. With a big, bold, beautiful journey. Now, again, if you're a fan of Kogonada's films, maybe this works perfectly for you. But yeah, just didn't for me. Now, people, I would love to know how this works, right? Did you enjoy it? Could you buy into this love story? All right, what did you think? Let me know. I would love to hear from people that love this film. You feel me? That would be interesting. But these are just my thoughts on a big, bold, beautiful journey.